Well, and there were lots of people that around the neighborhood that didn't have enough food and didn't have enough clothing. But you know, everybody seemed to just gather together and help these people, and with food and with clothing, and if a child became ill, another neighbor would go down and help take care of the child, and we never left anybody out or let them go without. We lived in a section of town that was called Swede Hill, and that's because all of the Swedish settlers sort of gathered there and built their homes, and that was a social situation too, and that's the reason it was called Swede Hill. It was on the south side of Jamestown. We had a tennis court at one time, and we had a football field, which was just at the end of the neighborhood, and everybody would gather there and watch the young people playing games. And we also had quite a good many social activities. We would go visiting the neighbors and spend an evening, and quite often you would just sit huddled around a cold stove and telling stories, and maybe they had fresh apples that they treated you on, or fresh pears or something like that. They never felt that they had to put on a big luncheon or show of any kind, and it was just such a warm and friendly neighborhood. And if some mother happened to bake one day, everybody in the neighborhood got fresh rolls or fresh cookies or something like that.
In your neighborhood, did you feel like everybody was affected kind of the same? You all were kind of similar?
Yes, we lived in a very nice neighborhood, and all the men worked, maybe not what they wanted to do, but and maybe not full-time at one job, but everybody had work, and we seemed to live a pretty normal life. My father worked in the United States Post Office. The salaries were not very large at that time, so my mother had to go to work in the mill to help support the family, because of course we were 6 in the family, and but we never were without food, and we always had a warm home, and never without clothing, and which was a problem for lots of people. And it really didn't affect us, because my mother always knew how to put food on the table, and we never went without. I had some cousins that had to give up going to school and get a job to help their parents.
During the Depression?
During the Depression. Mm-hmm. And of course, boys would usually get jobs at grocery stores for delivering groceries and things like that, and helping out.
Did you feel like you had to do any more work around the house?
No, but I did have a little job, and in fact, each one of the children in the family had this job, and it was very interesting. We had a gentleman on the street who owned a grocery store several blocks away, and it was on our way to school. So every noon when we went back to school, we would carry his lunch to him in a basket and take it down to the store, and for that little bit of a job we earned 5 cents a day. We had to make our own fun, and that was good for us, and we never were lacking for entertaining ourselves, and I think that made us stronger. And our big thing during the Depression was to have on Saturday nights a big bowl of popcorn, and sit and enjoy the popcorn while we're looking at a Sears catalog. That was a big night. And in the winter, when we wanted to do some ice skating, my father would freeze our lawn. We had a big side lawn, and we had a great ice rink right there.
Did you understand what the Great Depression was at the time that it was happening?
No,
Nobody ever explained it to you?
Nobody, and we never, I don't think as a child, other than the fact that Mother went to work, that I ever realized that there was a depression, because we never went without. But you know, we survived it all, and I think probably we're a little bit better off because of the depression, because we learned how to do things and not waste things, and we came out on top.